Happy Friday night to you. This is Scott McDonald with Runs Hits Aaron, the Pittsburgh Diamonds pregame show. And tonight, Aaron Miles, who the show is named after, is not going to be here. And so we have temporarily managing for the Diamonds, Jay Armendral, who had an eventful time managing earlier this week. And we would change the name of the show, but Runs Hits Jay didn't have the same catchy
Not really.
Last night the Diamonds win. They are now within one game of 500. They are alone in fourth place in the Pacific Association. We now know that would put them in the playoffs. You weren't here, but I know the teams talked about last night's game. What kind of impressions were you left with? What happened?
Well, I'm glad that they bared down after the rough first half, coming back and answering then answering once again and holding them to those 3 runs. I mean, it's a testament to the adjustment that Corey was making and, not beating himself, and the bullpen, just trying the new guy and looked good. He looked good. Then he had some trouble, but then he looked good. So such a small sample size to really tell, as most in this league where, it's kind of unknown and we just want to give them the opportunity to compete.
One last shot at the Clippers tonight for this series, and then you've got
series. Which will we,
doing? Stompers and Pacifics over the weekend. Brett Solano, pitching for you guys tonight. But you also have a new first baseman. Can you tell us anything about the guy?
He started the season off with Martinez. I believe his name's Cosmo or Canella. We saw a good prospect. I mean, all these guys, what we see initially is a good prospect, and he had some tools and. Figure we give him a chance here and, just as we are with all these men and, hopefully he can build his business and move on.
So he was released by Martinez?
Yeah, I don't know the full extent of it, but, we like what we see and hopefully he produces and competes and we'll be glad with that.
You're the batting coach when you're not the temporary manager. The Diamonds have lifted their batting average 20 points or more in the last 2 weeks. They've really been hitting the hell out of the ball, and they were admired in a slump just before that. What is the difference? Is it just time or what?
It's all 100% time, but the cohesiveness of the team gelling together, and I feel like there's a lot of athletes out here and their brains are trained one way and they got to grow as hitters from, playing D1 baseball to professional baseball. It may not seem like a big jump for most because you see all these guys coming from high school like Harper and all these phenoms, Trout and all these guys that are young in the big leagues, Ohtani. But, these guys, they have the ability to compete and it's a testament. You see the proofs in the numbers, they're getting better and better.
Brett Solano pitching tonight. He has been your most consistently good pitcher of the year. So that's got to give you maybe a little easy breathing room. Of course, they have to perform before you can breathe in.
Well, I think it's contagious, too, the pitching. I mean, from Freeze to Brink this week to Corey to Solano, they've all been competing, And it's almost that pride in you as a human being not to want to get overshadowed. So it kind of draws more out of you, On the other hand, with Martinez, they're kind of pressing. That's why when they get in there, they make more mistakes, or, they definitely are getting better though. So you can't, can never put anyone out of any ball games. And I just really like where we're at as a ball club and the moves we're making, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So you're managing the game on Tuesday in Martinez, and there was an exceptionally odd incident. The other manager got thrown out, I guess, trying to steal your thunder. But before that happened,
no thunder there.
In the 7th inning, you Dakota Freeze, the bases had been loaded. You came out to either talk to him, get some time for a reliever, whatever your goal was. But you had not been to the mound at all, and you walk out to the field. What happened?
Well, my initial thoughts were I'm going to stall a little bit, get Hatch ready for the next guy, which was left-handed Decker, I believe. These games happen so often and fast when similar things are happening, but had Hatch ready. I was going to go talk to him, and Danny, the umpire, he stopped me and he says, "Oh, hey, this will be your second visit, then he's got to come out of the game." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You know what? You haven't been to the mound. I won't count it as anything." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that was just I was talking about the catcher's interference, okay." Then I walked off. Nothing had happened. He hit the grand slam. and just tie a ball game, I'm thinking, wow, I should have just not went out there and just let them do it. I froze them, just get them back in there. If anything, I was trying to let them refocus. And, hey, he made a mistake pitch. He made him pay. It's part of the game. And, we did rise to the top there. And, Barnesi or Hatch shut the door on them, and Barnesi shut the door when we gained the lead. So, it worked out. It'd be a different story if we were here. That field, I don't want to say anything negative about any fields or anything like that, but it's definitely a hitter's ballpark. That's for sure.
Home runs go out. Well, they had 3 home runs in the 7th inning on Wednesday to tie the game.
Yeah, sort of same situation, 7-3 ball game, tied 7-7. I saw that 7-7-7 on the scoreboard, and then I was like, man, this isn't good. And, our pitcher they snuck a couple ground ball hits in the 6th hole, and then, free passes are given, and those are never a good thing. So
tonight we're in Pittsburgh, and we wish you luck and come out of it. If you could win tonight, you're back at 500.
I'm excited. I can't wait to go out there and compete with the guys.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. So tonight the Diamonds will be playing for the ability to be back at 500. They are alone in 4th place in the Pacific Association, which would be the last playoff spot. But there's 3/4 of a season to go. So we're going to relax and enjoy tonight's game, and we'll get started right after this.